St Johnstone have only won 3 major honours in their history, and 2 of these came in the greatest season in the club's history. In the 2021 campaign, St Johnstone upset the odds to not only finish 5th in the league, but also win a double of the Scottish League Cup and Scottish Cup, being only the 4th team to do so. One of the greatest stories in the history of Scottish football. This is a story of how St Johnstone won the double. St Johnstone very nearly went out of business in the 1980s, but was saved at the 11th hour when businessman Jeff Brown took over the club. In 2014, St Johnstone won their first major honour when they defeated Dundee United 2-0 in the Scottish Cup final. Going into the 2021 season, their manager Tommy Wright resigned and was replaced by St Johnstone's former player in the form of Callum Davidson. Even by Scottish standards, the game had been dominated by Celtic, who had won the last 12 Scottish domestic honours available. Celtic, at the time, had a turnover around 15 times greater than the Perth side, and St Johnstone's budget was only the 7th highest in the league. Nobody could know what lay ahead for them. The season would not start well for them though, as they lost 7 of their first 10 league games, but a 5-3 win away at Hamilton Academical was the start of a 6-game unbeaten run. They were drawn alongside Kelty Hearts, Brecon City, Dundee United and Peterhead in the group stage of the League Cup. They would win 3, including a 7-0 win over Kelty Hearts, to sail through. Victories over Motherwell in the second round and a penalty shootout win over Dunfermline Athletic in the quarter-finals saw them through to the semi-finals. Whilst their league form towards Christmas had slumped, things picked up after the new year, as after losing 4 in a row in the league, they went 6 unbeaten in the league. At the end of the month, they would face Hibernian in the semi-final of the League Cup. It was a comfortable path to the final, as goals from Jason Kerr, Sean Rooney and Craig Conway sealed the victory over the Edinburgh side. On the 28th of February 2021, St Johnstone faced Livingston at Hampden Park, aiming to win the Scottish League Cup for the first time in their history. In the 32nd minute, a header from Sean Rooney found its way into the net to give St Johnstone the lead. A solitary goal would be enough. The Saints had gone marching in and won their first ever League Cup. The first of the 2 pieces of silver had been captured. Their league form continued to improve as they found their way up the table, and their Scottish Cup campaign commenced in April. A 1-0 victory over Dundee was followed by a 2-0 win over Clyde. A huge test would follow in the quarter-finals as they travelled to Ibrox to face Rangers. The dream seemed to be dead when James Tavernier gave Rangers the lead in the 117th minute. But Christopher Kane came up with a lifeline, netting in the 120th minute to send the game to penalties. And it was here that the Saints emerged victorious. Rangers missed 2 of their penalties, while St Johnstone scored all 4 of theirs. They had pulled off a shock and were into the semis. They would face St Mirren in the semi-final at Hampden Park, and 2 goals in 2 minutes from Christopher Kane and Glenn Middleton put them in pole position. St Mirren would get one back, but the Saints held on. They were heading to a second final that season and were 1 game from history. In the final, they faced Hibernian. After finishing an impressive 5th in the league, Callum Davidson's side had high hopes. History would repeat itself at Hampden Park. Sean Rooney scored a header in the 32nd minute, just as he had done in the League Cup final, and once again, it would be enough. St Johnstone would win 1-0, and their fairy tale was complete. A club who had nearly gone out of business in the 1980s had won more trophies in one season than they had ever before. They were only the 4th Scottish club to achieve the Cup double, and first non-Old Firm side to do it since Alex Ferguson's Aberdeen in 1990. After the game, Callum Davidson paid tribute to the club, saying, "I don't think it has sunk in yet that we have won the double and the achievement that is for a club like St Johnstone. Only Rangers, Celtic and Aberdeen have managed to do it." Scottish football continues to be dominated by the Old Firm, and sadly, it looks like it will continue to be for many years to come. But moments like St Johnstone's double give hope to clubs across the country. The fact that a club from the Highlands, who have a stadium with a 10,000 capacity, could end Celtic's seemingly unstoppable dominance proves that teams can rise to the top. and hopefully one day we will see a different team as champions of Scotland. For all the honours Celtic and Rangers have won in recent memory, none of them will ever mean as much to them as the double delight of 2021 meant to St Johnstone.